So let us meditate for a few minutes. Good morning to you all. As you know, we have this spiritual retreat today, and we are very happy that Swami Yogatmananda is here with us today to give us this retreat. Before we proceed, I'll request Jyotima and her companion to come forward and invoke this session with the chanting of Veda mantras.
सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः ॐ भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैः स्तुष्टुवागुंसस्तनूभिः व्यशेम देवहितं यदायुः स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्ताक्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः ॐ तच्छयोरावृणीमहे गातुं यज्ञाय गातुं यज्ञपतये दैवी स्वस्तिरस्तु नः स्वस्तिर्मानुषेभ्यः ऊर्ध्वं जिगातु भेषजं शन्नो अस्तु द्विपदे शञ्चतुष्पदे ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ तत्सत् श्रीरामकृष्णार्पणमस्तु।
Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Dear friends, good morning to you all. As you know, spiritual retreat means we are busy with our day-to-day activities, but we step back and assess our activities and how we are doing, what should be done, and how to proceed about it. So, we are very happy that Swami Yogatmananda is here, and most of you or some of you know him, so there is no need of introduction, but still I'll give a little brief introduction. Swami Yogatmananda is the monastic member of Ramakrishna order, as you know. He was born in 1953, so he's senior, one of the senior-most or senior Swamis of the order. He joined the order in 1976. He was initiated by most revered Srimad Swami Vireshwaranji Maharaj, and then he joined. The Vireshwaranji Maharaj was 10th president of the order, and then he received his monastic vows in 1986. After serving at Ramakrishna Mutt, Nagpur, Maharashtra state, India, for about 20 years in various capacities, including the editorship of Marathi monthly called Jivan Vikas, that is run from our center, and in that magazine he had very, that is there.
The clock is there. The time.
Okay. But it is showing 11:15.
It's 10:50.
Okay.
We forgot that.
So he received his monastic vows in 1986 after serving at Ramakrishna Mutt, Nagpur, that means in Maharashtra state, at the center of India, you can see. And then he ran also a magazine, monthly magazine, and he had very interesting articles there. Especially his articles are full of humor and full of spiritual fervor. And he was posted to the head as the head of Ramakrishna Mission Shillong, that's in northeastern provinces of India, one of the provinces of India, in Shillong. He came to United States in the summer of 2001 as the minister of the Vedanta Society of Providence. Swami Yogatmananda's present responsibilities include conducting Sunday services, weekly study, classes, and organizing spiritual retreats. He is invited to preach Vedanta at different places in the United States. He also served as the Hindu religious affiliate at the Brown University, and that Brown University at the backyard of the ashrama, very close, and it is in Providence. And the Hindu chaplain at the University of Massachusetts, Dartmouth. So he is there, but his special way of conveying Vedanta is very special. We can take a great statement of Veda, Ekam Sat Vipraha Bahudha Vadanti. We are familiar with it, but I'll take a little diversion of that. The truth is one, and sages explain it in different ways. So now the diversion. Intelligent people tell the same truth in different ways. So Vedanta has got a central theme but his way of presenting this is very special. So with humor, with wit, you'll see how he presents. So truth is the same, but he presents in a different hue and color. So Vedanta, as we know, the expression of Vedanta is composed in a hymn, Dakshinamurti Strotram. But we recite that, but we hardly dive deep to explore the meaning. But here we'll find a greater value, greater appreciation of the same hymn. You know, it is like this. He takes the essence of it. A man used to live in a remote hill, and he used to eat wheat. And he never knew how these city people eat. So once he came to a city, and he was given a bread. Then he asked, what is this? Because he never knew that it is full of, like salt and sugar and this and that. If you see the ingredients, there are so many ingredients. So he said, oh, it is wheat but added something. So he said, oh, I know it is because I eat wheat also. So then he was provided with some cakes. And what is this? He asked. So he said, oh, it is wheat, but something is there. So similarly, when various items were presented to him, and he knew that it is wheat. So wheat is the theme, and he'll present that wheat, but with some addition, some ingredients, so that it is interesting and it is educating. It is informating. At the same time, it has spiritual connotations. So we'll have a great feast today, with in different manner. Ekam sat vipraha bodha vadanti. So we'll see another aspect, how he deals with the subject. And he said, this much is enough. Don't speak of me too much, because it is too much to speak of him. So anyway, Maharaj, we are very happy that you are here today, and we welcome you to this special place where we consider this as Jairambati of the West, Mother's place. And you are also welcome, all of you, because your presence is very important. One and many. So these are two expressions of the same thing. So we are ready now to have the feast. Thank you, Maharaj. I'll sit there.
नमो ब्रह्मादिभ्यो ब्रह्मविद्या संप्रदायकर्तृभ्यो वंशऋषिभ्यो नमो गुरुभ्यः। My dear Chandrasekharananda ji, dear Devishananda ji, and all wonderful friends united here in Thakur Swamiji. And I am very happy to come here at the invitation of my wonderful friend. It is. Can you hear me there, or I should be louder? It's okay. Yeah, okay. So. It is good to meet our Swami friends. It is this aspect of monastic life I miss a lot, having come to US, because in our center in Providence, this is the only Swami there. So I don't get to meet many Swamis. So when I get such chance to travel to our different centers, I get an interaction with our other Swamis and to learn from them. He has told you some correct things about me and some not so correct things. It is. Yes, I was in Nagpur, correct, tick. Then I was in Shillong, that is also correct. I am in Providence for last 21 years, nothing wrong about it. It is, then I am associated with Brown University and University of Massachusetts, that is also correct. And I give a lot of talks here and there, that also is correct. But
So 95% is
yeah, but it is, the brain consists only about 6-7%, and if that goes wrong, then all 95% becomes meaningless, you see. So, what he said about my talk, that it is full of humor and such, please friends, first of all, Vedanta itself is full of humor. That is, I don't have to do anything to make it humorous. It is Vedanta itself, that's the biggest humor that we are in. Contradiction, humor, the contradiction is the mother of humor. When the incorrigible things, they are seen coming together, then we smile, we laugh. And that is how the humor gets generated in life. That you expect one thing and then another thing happens. I read a nice story, that it is one young boy was having a date. So he was going for a date with a girlfriend, and then the mother told him, okay, you go, but be careful, don't spend too much. And then after he comes back, then mother, how did it go? Oh, fine, very good. Okay, how much did you spend? Just $5. Only $5? And then he said, she had only $5 with her. So, that is an anticlimax, you see. So, that is how the humor gets generated. I am telling how the humor gets generated. So, in Vedanta, Satchidananda, we are all existence, knowledge, bliss. We are the all-pervading, immortal, ever-perfect, ever-free self. And look at what condition we are living in. What a humor, I always am weeping and bound and getting kicked around here and there. And then still I am existence, knowledge and bliss absolute. Isn't it humorous? Do I have to add any humor? It is automatically humorous. In fact, today the text that we are going to study, friends, do not expect any humor. It is one of the very serious texts of a great Vedanta of science. It is not a matter of logical arguments, friends. That is one problem that we see, and I see it in the West, because too many universities have this courses in Vedanta and such things, philosophy. It is all intellectual gymnastics. That is not really Vedanta. It is a matter of practical day-to-day life experience. And that it is an experience when I am walking, experience when I am speaking or eating or sleeping. It is the experience of one reality in all these infinitely many varied manifestations. It is a matter not of intellectual understanding. In fact, intellectual understanding plays a very, very small role in it. It is matter of transformation of our consciousness. It is the consciousness that is glued to multiplicity, variety, this, and the misunderstanding about who am I am this flesh, a heap of flesh, blood, bones, and so forth. One such heap gets called I, another similar heap gets called Chandrasekharananda, another such heap gets called Chanda. It is just heaps, It is, there is, actually it is one reality. So Shankaracharya experienced, and that is the experience that we are all striving for, because we all want the infinite bliss, freedom. That is the purpose of Vedanta, as Shankaracharya tells in his introductory commentary on Brahma Sutra. That is one of the best texts in the whole philosophical literature of the world, is Adhyasa Bhashya, or the commentary on superimposition. There he says that they all are looking for this bliss, and yet our lives are just caught in the contradiction and in the suffering. And then the cause of this contradiction is adhyasa, superimposition. And so to remove that superimposition, sarve Vedantaha arabhyante, all Vedantas, all Upanishads, Bhagavad Gita, and all the auxiliary texts associated with them, all of them, they are striving to eradicate this misconception. So friends, with the salutations to Lord Sri Ramakrishna, Holy Mother, Swamiji, salutations to Shankaracharya, and salutations to Dakshinamurti. I will come to that, what is Dakshinamurti. We will now meditate for a few minutes on this theme. Just close our eyes, let us close our eyes and feel that I am not the body, the mind. I am this seer, not this seen. Body is seen. Mind is also seen. They are just like added coverings. So let us take them off. Just as now it is cold outside, so when you came inside the warmth of this room, you might have taken away your big jackets and put them on the hanger. Let us now take out this very heavy and cumbersome jacket called body. I take it and put it out. What a transformation I am experiencing. Now I see I had no birth. There is no question of birth for me. No question of age or death. I have no gender. I am neither rich or poor. I am neither highly educated or illiterate. All these things belonged to body. Having put it out on the hanger, see how free I feel. 99% of my tensions, the pressures are just gone. Similarly, I am not mind. There is no time, space. There is no separation at all. It is the time and space that causes separation. I can feel the one without second, all pervading, Brahman, as my true nature. I am that in truth. There is nothing apart from that. In that, I am bliss itself. I am consciousness and life itself. I am peace itself, love itself. Om, peace, peace, peace. So, let us try to feel the same one reality with open eyes. Thakur Sri Ramakrishna mentioned several times, God is there not only with closed eyes, the same God is there with open eyes. So let us feel the God, the one self, manifesting in so many different forms, like the same ocean manifesting in so many rising and falling waves. So let us try to feel that. And now with that feeling, it will be much easier for us to get the essence of this great hymn, Dakshinamurti Stotra. Dakshinamurti is a form of Shiva. There is a temple in South India, very famous temple. In other parts of India also, there are temples of Dakshinamurti Shiva. As you heard, I was in Nagpur for many years. In Nagpur also there is a famous temple of Dakshinamurti. So, what is this Dakshinamurti? Dakshinamurti means compassionate. And one power of God is compassion. The all-pervading Brahman, that is called Nirgun Brahman, the Brahman without attributes. But as we think of it, it gets limited by our thoughts, our way of thinking. We may use the words all-pervading, but that is, my understanding of all-pervading. It is, as Swami Vivekananda says, that when you say all-pervading infinite, you think of the sky all over. Sky is a shape after all. You are seeing the shape like a big, canopy and something like that. That is your idea of infinite. So as soon as we think that attributeless Brahman becomes Brahman with attributes, and that Brahman now is manifesting as the creation, preservation and dissolution. It is now manifesting with, say, in Tantra Shastra. In fact, this one thing is to be noted here, that this particular hymn, Dakshinamurti Strotram, is where Shankaracharya has described it as a Tantra text. This is, Shankaracharya was a great Vedantin, no doubt about that, but he was also a great Tantra practitioner of the Shaiva discipline. The standard Kashmiri Shaivism actually started 100 years later when Shiva Gupta's those Shiva Sutras were written. That is, but Shankaracharya was before that. But the terminology you find there and in this Dakshinamurti Stotra, they are very, very similar. And there is some terminological difference between the Vedantic description, the core Vedanta description and the Tantra description. So here in Dakshinamurti Stotra, it is more loaded with the Tantra descriptions. So I will come to that. In Tantra, the God is described with 5 powers. And that is, you will see that in other Vedanta texts also. These powers are described sometimes as the Maya Shakti, the power of covering. And then power of having the creation, sustenance, dissolution. Sometimes it is described that it is Jnana Bala Kriya. These are powers of God. It is the just matter of description, friends, that it is the power of knowing, power, of doing things. It is, and Kriya, that is actually the knowledge, the power and the doings, actions. So, and then there is the 5th power, the power of compassion, power of karuna. That God we can pray to. That power appears as Guru. Guru is that aspect of God by which He blesses us and liberates us. The all-pervading Nirgun, attributeless Brahman cannot liberate you. Where is the liberation? There is no bondage, no liberation. But that Brahman who is Saguna, the Brahman with attributes, that Brahman now has, that is called Ishvara. This Ishvara has thus these 5 powers. One of them is the Guru power, Guru Shakti, the power of compassion. And that power manifests, that is the real Guru Tattva or Guru Shakti. It is, therefore, let us remember what Sri Ramakrishna said, that human being, how can that, a human being cannot be Guru of anybody. Only God can be the Guru. He therefore was, if somebody addresses him as Guru, and he would get very disturbed by that. No, I am not Guru. And yet the Guru Shakti manifests through that instrument. So let us not confuse between the instrument and the power that is manifesting through that instrument. Instrument is important, but that is not exactly the power. Like you go to put these light fixtures on, you go to a switch. The switch is not the power. Switch is not even these light fixtures, but switch enables you to put that on. So the idea of Guru is actually very deep, very profound. It is God. That is why we chant Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwara. That is how the attitude towards Guru is and should be. So that is this Ish Guru, the power of God, compassionate aspect of God that manifests as this Dakshinamurti Guru. So that is, this hymn is actually to Guru. So therefore in the compilation of hymns, you will see that this particular hymn, although it is hymn to Shiva, it is classified as hymn in the hymns to Guru, because it is every sentence ends with Tasmai Shri Guru Murtaye Namaidam Shri Dakshinamurtaye. So it is hymn to Guru. So let us do this Vandana of our Sayan has prepared this salutations to Dakshinamurti. Om Namo Bhagavate Dakshinamurtaye Mahamedham Prajnam Prayachha Swaha. So Swaha is a special this mantra for oblation, for offering. So what are we offering? This I and mine, which is the visible manifestation of ignorance. I and mine. There is actually no such thing, but we hold on to this division, I and mine, the I and world. Actually, such a thing does not exist. You can easily see it. That try to draw a demarcating line where I ends and where the world begins. And you will soon find that it is hopeless, because such a line doesn't exist. You cannot therefore draw it. There is no such division except in ignorance. Except because of ignorance, we are seeing that this I and world. Well, tell me where I ends and where world begins. I, then its offshoots become mine. It is a very funny, connection. How things become mine, I don't know. But somehow I think it is mine. This body is sometimes, and most of the times, I identify it with this self. at some time, instead of identifying, I say mine, my body. It is. Now, how it became my, there is no explanation to it. There is no rhyme and reason in that. It is, for example, the nice breakfast that we had this morning, and then it was world. And now that world, that luchi and sabji and all, that now I am calling that as I. That it was not I, now I call that very thing as I. So it is not at all the first any intelligent person can see this. It doesn't require intelligence of, say, solving mathematic problems. It is not a rocket science. Anybody with a very, little understanding can easily see this. A primary school, middle school child can see this, that I am not body. And yet, it is things that I do are based on as if I am body. So, this Dakshinamurti hymn is for that Shiva, that God who has appeared to me in the form of Guru. So, Sri Ramakrishna used to say, therefore, about Guru, do not have the awareness that he is a human being. He is the compassionate form of God that has come to us in the form of Guru. So, with this, let us start seeing. There are other mantras also. I am not going to spend time in discussing those right now. They come at the end of this. They are not actually obviously part of Dakshinamurti Stotra, but then later on somebody has added them to convey the greatness or convey their tremendous respects and salutations to this efficacy of this Dakshinamurti. One of them, okay, I am feeling tempted, forgive me. I can resist almost everything except temptation, So it is. Is it a humor, why people laughed? I don't know. It is. That is why I am not. The problem with me is, when I am telling very serious something, people laugh. And when I am telling a joke, people wait for the punchline, even though. Yeah, it's so difficult to tell jokes for me, So it is. Anyway, so this is the Dakshinamurti Stotram. It says what it is, Dakshinamurti, that Chitram Vatataror Mule Vriddha Shishya Gurur Yuvaha Gurostu Maunam Vyakhyanam Shishyastu Chinna Samshaya. One of these, this is the last on this page, number 3 here, that amazing now it is a matter of, imagination. Let us feel this imagery given there. Beautiful imagery. Imagine a great banyan tree under which now the teacher and the students, they are discussing this great Vedantic truths. Now the Guru is young because this principle of Brahma Vidya, or this principle of the knowledge of God, is always young. It never gets old. And all the disciples sitting around this Guru, they are old. Means they had enough experience of the world and now they have become completely disillusioned with it. So that is the meaning of old. Vriddha Shishyaha Gurur Yuva, the young guru and the elderly disciples. And how long is the guru going to keep on talking to them? Not hours and hours, like this Swami keeps on talking. That is why I kept it told to keep a clock in front of me. Because it is easy to lose the track of time. There is a story that is told that one preacher like me kept on talking, and then realized that lot of time must have elapsed and said, sorry, I went on talking too long because there was no clock in front of me. Then somebody from the audience said, why did you not at least look at the calendar? So, how long this guru, what kind of language was he using? What? Maunam Vyakhyanam. Was silent. The message was being imparted through silence. It is a great message, The one who gets the art of listening to the message of silence will get all knowledge. The words, they are only like the frame. Like you look at the picture, not the frame. You appreciate, what a nice picture it is, what a wonderful painting it is. The words are like only the frame. The silence is the real message. So, that is the Gurustu Maunam Vyakhyanam. And all the doubts of the disciples are shattered, finished. So that is how this Dakshinamurti Stotra, a hymn that is so dear to my heart. I had been reciting it right from my college days. It's a wonderful hymn. So let us begin with the first verse. Vishwam darpan drishyman nagari tulyam nijantargatam pashyannatmani mayaya bahirivot bhutam yatha nidraya yat sakshi kurute prabodha samaye स्वात्मानमेवाद्वयम् तस्मै श्री गुरुमूर्तये नमः श्री दक्षिणामूर्तये. Him who sees the universe like a dream, existing within oneself, or like a city seen in the mirror, but appearing extremely externally due to Maya. So salutations to that being, that it is Tasmai Shri Yat Sakshat Kurute Prabodha Samaye, who upon enlightenment beholds the universe directly as his or his own and non-dual self. Don't take this word his as a gender specific, Please forgive me, friends, but it is, the language has its limitations. So even when I say his or her, include both genders in it. Even when one uses these, like men, it is women also are included in it. Sometimes, it is, they get, sometimes women get very, very upset when I am telling some joke and in which a woman is shown to be somewhat, foolish or like that. You tell such jokes about women, It is, say, look, please be, be calm, it is, see, we needed some joke, If woman is shown to be foolish, it is taken as joke. If men are shown to be foolish, where is the joke? That is the truth, So then that woman got a little calmed down, So it is. So it is, please don't take it as anything gender specific. This is, we are trying to go beyond body itself. So what is the point in, that man and woman? Oh, forget it, you say. It is. So this is the first hymn, and almost everything in this succeeding hymns, succeeding stanzas of this hymn, it is kind of included in the first hymn itself. It is elaboration of this first hymn. So let us begin with it, that it is a very beautiful analogy. Two analogies are given here. One is that of a mirror, that you look into the mirror and you find a big reflection of things. It is now that reflection, there is no, that thing is not there. It is here. That is seen there. Suppose now somebody stands in front of the mirror and sees that, well, my hair needs to be done a bit, takes up the, say, a brush, and then starts moving it on the mirror. How long do you think to get it all straightened up, Susie? How long will it, you have to keep on moving that brush on the mirror to get everything, you look properly? It will never end. You will get frustrated. That is what happens to us in the world. It is not there, although seen there. It is here. This is simple physics, friends, isn't it? If the reflection is on that side, the thing is on the opposite side. So, when you touch it there in the opposite side, then it becomes all right here. It becomes all right there also. It becomes now very clear, no frustration now, because the thing is not there, although appears to be there. So a town, imagine, that it is near a pond. You see the houses at the bank, they get reflected in the pond, as if they are in pond. If the water is clear, the light is nice, then it appears to be so real that it is there. There is, in my childhood, I had read one story. Many of you must have read it, heard it, that there was a tiger in a forest, and the tiger used to eat the other animals, wantonly kill them, and so the other animals, they pleaded with the tiger, we understand that you need some food every day, so what we will do is, one day, every day we will send one animal, don't kill too many. The tiger agreed, okay, as far as I get some, but remember, send me every day one of you. And so it was all agreed. So it was, the story can be made, elaborate, but I am going to make it very short. That's storytelling is not the today's session for. So it is, one rabbit was rather intelligent. So the rabbit didn't go at the appointed hour, went an hour late. And naturally the hungry tiger waiting became very upset. Hey! Why did you come so late? Eh? Oh, forgive me, but what happened? as I was coming, another tiger tried to catch me, and so to hoodwink that tiger, I went here, there, and then the tiger is hiding there. So, and is there another tiger here? I want to eliminate that fellow. Where is that tiger? Are you kidding me? I haven't seen any other tiger here. Come with me, I will show you another tiger. And the clever rabbit guided, describing how fearsome that tiger is. It is bigger than you, and so forth. So brought him to the lake and said, look here, look. Do you see that tiger hiding? And this tiger with all force jumped into the lake, and thus rest you can understand. So that is how we jump headlong into this universe to grab it. And nothing is there, so what do we get? We don't get anything here. We, as Swami Vivekananda describes it, we are actually bliss itself. But we don't get bliss, we are unhappy here. We keep on searching for happiness all our life, just hoping that tomorrow I'll get it. That tomorrow never ever comes. Because mistake, wrong direction. What is here is being searched there. Somebody was looking for me in Providence now. How can that fellow find me in Providence when I am in Portland? You can't find me there. So exactly, if we are looking for the bliss outside, it is not there. How are you ever be able to find it? Tell me. No possibility of it at all. But if you look in, just turn. How far is this microphone from me? Guess. How far is the microphone from me? What sign? What is the distance?
A few inches.
A few inches, exactly. But if my face is in that direction, in the opposite direction, then how far is the microphone? 25,000 miles, the circumference of the earth, If by circling, if at all one could do that, then that much distance is there. So, the bliss is right here. But I go after and hoping, that it is tomorrow I will get this. Let me get married and then I will get it. Just married, not if I get children, then I will get it. Forget it, we keep on, in the name of happiness, we keep on adding miseries one after another. Miseries and resentment. So, Swami Vivekananda describes in Jnana Yoga book, therefore, as the person who doesn't develop this understanding, the person, when that person comes to an old age, what is an old age? A terrible description, friends. A heap of shattered dreams. That is what the old age becomes. And what else do we expect, friends? All the life we were chasing something that didn't exist. So it appeared but didn't exist. So therefore this compassionate form of God is telling us that it is Vishwam Darpana Drishyamana Nagari Tulyam. It is, compare it. Tulyam means that. This is just a reflection. Actually looks outside, but it is Nijantargatam. It is within ourselves. It is inside. The whole universe is inside. It is I. It is the self. It is the self manifesting as all different things. It is all really in me. And to illustrate it further, he gives another beautiful analogy. Bhutam yatha nidraya. Yatha nidraya, like in the dream. You see this whole universe. One you is lying on the bed, another you is in the dream riding a unicorn and moving all around, A unicorn is possible in dream, in dream nothing is impossible. So here in the world you don't find unicorn, but in the dream, if you think of unicorn just going to bed, and then you may see in the dream you are riding a unicorn and has gone to all countries, here, there, and then the Lala land is much bigger, than this land. So, and you can go everywhere. Now where was that all unicorn and the you who were riding that unicorn and all the places that you were going to, all the people that you were meeting there, where were all these? Where were all these? It was you who had become all this. Isn't it true? It was you alone who had become all this. Any doubt about it? When you wake up, prabodha samaye, at the time of waking up, now when you wake up, you don't think that was actually I was riding a unicorn. Oh, I was asleep. I was seeing the dream. It is I alone was appearing at that time like all this big universe. Same here also. Same here also. The same one being is appearing as all this. There is nothing else there but I alone am in various forms. This self alone has taken this form as this form. And this is a matter of spiritual practice or sadhana, friends. What is this sadhana? Spiritual practice is to wake up, to see that this all is self alone. God alone has appeared as all this. They are not separate from me, they are not different from God. The forms, they are arising like in the ocean the waves arise. Exactly like that, all these forms arise and fall. Where do they arise from? Where do they rest? Where do they fall back? That is Brahman, that is God, that is this self, the Atman, that is the Atman. So, this is the essence, friends. Like Taittiriya Upanishad describes that the question was asked, Bhrugurvai Varuni, that Bhrigu asked this question to his father Varuna, and then Adhihi Bhagavo Brahmeti, teach this about Brahman to me. And then Varuna, the father, started telling, it is simple. Isn't it simple? God realization is what? Come on, answer, God realization is what? Simple. Say loudly. Simple, very simple. It is just to see that it is actually God. You don't have to do anything. That is the spiritual practice, is to see the things as Vivekananda says in multiple places he has said this, that one is at Thousand Island Park. Don't seek a God, see God. Because that is, nothing else is there. It is, God alone is there. We have to change our awareness to that. Instead of seeing this division, subject and subject chasing the objects, let us feel this, friends. And as we feel even a little bit, you will start feeling the flow of bliss in you. The life becomes so full of bliss just by this a little turning towards this knowledge that it is all God. That is how Sri Ramakrishna always is saying, all this is God. It is all different forms he was seeing, but he was not seeing just the form, that they are the forms of God. So Bhrigu is told, Yato va imani bhutani jayante yena jatani jivanti yat prayantya bhisamvishanti tad brahma tad vijidnyasasva. That it is where from all these beings arise. And this much intelligence all of us have, although it just is a non-functional knowledge for most of us. If it becomes functional, that the knowledge that is there has to become functional. Therefore one of my mentors used to say that we all have a structural brain in us. We have this in our structure, anatomy, there is a brain. But it is not a functional thing. We don't see these simple things, that these are forms arising and falling. They are impermanent. Impermanence. Buddha that's told this first noble truth, impermanence of these things. They are all impermanent. It is to be impressed upon us that it is impermanent. So impermanent, then where from do they come? Okay, that is the Brahman, where from all these forms arise, where they stay and where they dissolve. They come and go. It is so we have to go now beyond the forms. That is the sadhana. Sadhana has this very important aspect of going beyond the forms. And that is, all our knowledge is like that, transcending the forms. I like to give one familiar analogy here. That have you eaten animal crackers? Animal crackers? So it is, now there is a crocodile, there is a deer, there is a lion. Are you actually eating crocodile or lion? No, it is the same thing shaped as lion or crocodile or mouse or whatever. It is the same thing that is being given that shape. A baby gets, a bit jittery if it wanted to eat a lion and you gave that deer. No, it will bring the roof down crying aloud, no, I want lion. So, but when that baby goes to say kindergarten, then that much growth is enough to tell that baby that no, it tastes the same, the substance is the same, they are not different. So, we have to grow beyond the babyhood. What that baby did? Transcending the form, isn't it? Transcending the form. So that is a simple step that we have to take, friends. Simple step, isn't it? Is it difficult? Transcend the form. Go beyond form. That it is now we find it difficult because of the addiction to forms. Addictions, habits, addictions, they are difficult to get over. But we have to, therefore, practice. The practice is needed for that. It is habits. One of our teachers in training center told, habit, even if you remove A, HABIT, so if you remove H, a bit remains. If you remove A, bit remains. Even if you remove B, it remains, you see. So habits die hard. And then he used to add to that, it is, even if you remove I, tea remains. So the habit of, he was very much used to drink tea. So habit of tea is difficult to get over. So it is. Anyway, the point is that because we have this bad habit of seeing the changing forms as permanent, the spiritual life becomes difficult. So this is a simple transcendence that every child does, that we have to do. Go beyond the names and forms. Form, if you go beyond the form, you go automatically beyond name. Because the form has been given the name crocodile or lion, isn't it? That the particular shape you give form, according to that form you get the name. So one form got the name, say Swami, some form got the name Yogatmananda. Now the things completely become opposite. The name now becomes the cause of continuation of the form. The form changes, but because we have given a name, it appears to be the same. Imagine, some years back, some 4 years ago, I had gone to Alaska and I had the invitation of some devotees and also one friend who is a professor there at the university at Fairbanks. So we studied together in the 6th grade. 6th grade. And since then, 6th and 7th grade, and after that we never met each other personally. I was going to meet him after 52 years. Now what remained? Same. With me the name also had changed, but he knew that change of name. So, where was the form? All change, it changes. But then the name, it identifies, it gives a sense of permanence. So that is why it is not the topic today, but the Nama Sadhana. So practice the name, therefore we have to give a name to God and keep on repeating it. So that's a different topic. But we have to transcend the form. That is the sadhana. And so what remains permanent there? All that changes has no effect on the mirror. Now, when I stand in front of the mirror will reflect this fellow. If Chanda stands in front of the mirror, it will show Chanda's picture. Anybody who stands there, it will show that picture. but no picture sticks there. The mirror does not have any effect, whatever it shows. Nothing happens to the mirror. Similarly, nothing happens to the lake. It is, imagine, the mirror is showing all the, that there are all the houses, they are reflected in the lake. Now suppose a lightning strikes one of the houses and the house collapses. You will see the collapsed house also in the lake. But has anything happened to the water there? Nothing has happened to the water. So in this whole process, our true nature, the Atman, it has undergone no transformation whatsoever. And this is what is called adhyasa, a superimposition. Without any change in the thing, it appears as different something. It is, but our reaction, our response is not guided by what actually is there, but what we see. Our seeing guides us, or guides our response to it. Like our nun in Ridgely Manor, she driving stopped, and it was evening dusk, and that area has bears. So she saw a bear, and so thought bears have the right of way, so it is, and she knew that very well. So she stopped the car thinking that the bear will go and then she will go ahead. Now what happened was that when she saw another car coming, the bear was still not moving at all. So another car came, and in that light she saw that it is a log of wood. Now had she known that it is log of wood, would she have stopped? What?
No.
Yes or no?
No.
No, you should speak clearly, Yeah. That will also help you to keep awake, because my talks are very conducive to sleep. That is why after the talk many people say that, Swami, your talk was so nice and I felt so peaceful. Because there was sleep, and so the fellow naturally was going to feel very peaceful. So, but here we are looking for getting some understanding. So, give your response loudly. That will help you to remain awake. So, it is, thus you see, nothing happened to the log. Without anything happening to the log, that log did not create the bear. The log did not undergo any change to create the bear there, but still she saw the bear, and the response, her actions were according to what she perceived. She perceived that that's a bear, and so that is how she stopped. The famous Vedanta analogy, the rope and the snake. Now somebody sees the snake, and many are very much scared of snake for some right reasons, wrong reasons, whatever it may be, but tremendously scared of snakes. And most of the deaths which are attributed to snakes are not to snake bites, but the heart attack. That by seeing the snake, the fear seizes that person. That's it, and dies by heart attack. Now, if the rope is seen as snake, and the fellow dies, who killed that person? Who killed that person?
The rope.
Now, how can rope kill? Rope did not kill. Snake was not there at all to kill. So who killed that person?
The person. The person himself.
Ignorance, exactly. The person himself. Yeah, exactly. And so that is what our case. Who made us unhappy?
We did.
We did. Nobody has the power to make me unhappy. Let us tell it ourselves loudly all the time. Nobody has power to make me unhappy unless I am putting my happiness on something else. If my happiness depends, I tell, it is such a simple thing that we don't understand, and we call ourselves intelligent people. That is again a joke, I don't have to make any joke. That it is very simple really, that if my happiness depends on whether my favorite team wins Super Bowl or not, then my happiness is not in my control. Depends on how those fellows are going to play, and more than that, how are the opponents going to play. On that will depend my happiness, not on me. If my happiness depends on how my spouse or my friend behaves with me, then I have no control over that. So my happiness, that also transitory, because that changes. Sometimes my club will win, sometimes it will lose. My team is not guaranteed. So if it is guaranteed that my team will always win, there is no need for sports at all. There is no need for having matches. So that is, thus my happiness quickly changes into non-happiness, misery, because it is not in my control. It is something outside I feel will make me happy. No, happiness is my true nature. How can I ever be made unhappy, tell me? Nobody has power to make me unhappy unless I imagine my happiness in something outside. That also really a little happiness that we get from things outside. Like I had Luchi and I felt very happy. Now, as long as that Luchi was there and I am here, no happiness. When I and that Luchi became one, then for that moment I had that happiness. So that happiness also actually is becoming that oneness. When that subject-object distinction vanishes, then there is happiness. Otherwise there is no happiness at all. So same bhutam yatha nidraya yat sakshi kurute. That is the sakshi kurute, prabodh samaye, actually waking up. Then you see all this panorama, all this dream falls apart. Now, even if you think of the variety, you are not disturbed by that. You don't, because you don't think of it as real. It is all just a nice fun to think about it. What happened in dream, if something happened, and you may describe the dream, if you remember, to people. And even at that time in the dream, suppose you were very much scared by a tiger chasing you. When you are describing it to your friend, are you afraid? No, it is a fun, Hey, how I was scared to my bones. Can you imagine a real tiger chasing me? In the dream it was real. But later on, Actually, nothing has changed. That is when you wake up, Prabodha Samaye. You have to wake up to the reality. If you are not woken up to reality, then you don't see, you are still having, one of our volunteers, she came for breakfast and was not answering the questions properly. Was a cranky little bit, and then was just looking somewhere and was eating something, sipping coffee. And so after about 10-15 minutes, she started speaking in a normal, nice way. Now I asked, what happened? Well, unless a couple of cups of coffee go down the throat, I don't really wake up. So it is, I don't see the things as they are. I have a nice cup with me, It has one nice line of the famous song. Morning is broken. Have you heard that song? Morning is broken. The second line is different, there is a pun on the word broken. Morning is broken, coffee can fix it. So it is. So that is how this is, that we have to wake up really to see the reality. And what do we see? This self alone. There is Atman alone. All the so-called variety, time, space and causation and all that, what happens to that? It was not real at all. It was product of ignorance. So that ignorance was causing it. And as the ignorance goes away, all the products of ignorance, they also go away. Now even if you see forms, the realism in that form is gone. You don't take those forms as real. It is. So even if you eat animal cookie lion or animal cookie crocodile, you still remain vegetarian, you say. And it is neither lion nor tiger. It doesn't matter at all. So it is like that. We have to see this truth. Now the time for this class, I think, is finished. At least my clock is telling me. Now I don't have the excuse, there was no clock in front of me. So let us do the salutations to Dakshinamurti. And then when is the next class?
12.
Huh?
12.
12.
No.
Huh?
Yeah.
12. Half an hour.
Half an hour break. Okay. Salute Dakshinamurti, and then we shall take up the next few verses later. Om Namo Bhagavate Dakshinamurtaye Mahyam Medham Prajnam Prayachha Swaha. Om Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavat Padam Shankaram Lokashankaram Jananim Saradam Devim Ramakrishnam Jagadgurum Padapadme Tayo Shritva Pranamami Muhurmuhu.